This podcast is brought to you by ONNIT. Go to ONNIT.com and look at the great selection of supplements. If you find something you like, press in code Joey and get 10% off delivered right to your house. What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? It's Monday, October the 3rd. It's sober October for some people. Me, I'm going to take care of myself, but I'm going to keep smoking dope. As you know, if you want to feel better, heart and soul, I want to welcome them to the Popcast. As you know, I've been eating healthy for the past couple of years, or at least I try. But I've been also taking beef organ supplements from Heart and Soil. Beef organs are the most important nutrient-dense foods on the planet, more than kale, spinach, and blueberries combined. That's why they're called nature's multivitamin. Listen, I felt great. I've been trying the Warrior supplements. My recovery's been better. I've been making some good gains. Our ancestors ate organs for thousands of years and never suffered from obesity, heart disease, and anti-immune issues or fertility because they were eating organs, nature's most treasured foods. Founded by Dr. Saladino, Heart and Soil supplements are made from grass-fed, finished beef organs. Feel like a man when you take supplements made from liver, heart, kidney, spleen, and testicles. Over in China, they paid millions for this stuff to put it in a soup. But right now, you can have Heart and Soul to help you reclaim your birthright to radical health. You understand me? Go to heartandsoul.co. Again, that's heartandsoul.co. Use code Joey10 for 10% off your first order. That's heartandsoil.co and use code Joey10. Offer applies to one-time purchases, not subscriptions. Tell them today and see how you feel. Try them today and see how you feel. And like I said to you, you're going to feel great. It's Sober October, cocksuckers. The joint is also brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. It was a tremendous weekend of football, and tonight we got the Niners against the Rams. There's a tremendous fucking game. Let's get this party started right now. We're talking touchdowns, tackles, big plays, helmets flying, and even bigger wins. New customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win, and you're going to get 200 in free bets. Everyone can boost their winnings with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. I love same-game parlays. The more legs you add, the more geeters you win. And to make things even sweeter, you can throw down with the stepped-up game parlays once per day all season long. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. Use promo code Joey to get your 200 in free bets if your team wins when you place a $5 bet on any football game. That's code Joey, only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. DraftKings, download it now and then go win some motherfucking money. Let's get this party started on a Monday morning. I missed you guys.
Check 1, 2. Welcome to Uncle Joey's Joint.
What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? It's Monday, the 3rd of October. Can you fucking believe it's fucking October already? October, like it's Halloween. I mean, listen, I went somewhere last week with my daughter and I already saw Christmas shit out.
Yeah, Target.
Like, there is Christmas shit out. Usually you gotta wait till like fucking the day after Thanksgiving or while you're watching the football games on Thanksgiving. They're not waiting for dick. I mean, Halloween shit was out right when fucking school started. I've been seeing spooky shit and skeletons and stuff. So these motherfuckers are not stopping, Jack. But it's a beautiful day to be alive. We got a whole new fucking week here. It was raining all weekend in Jersey like a motherfucker. The tail end of the hurricane. My heart goes out to all those people in Florida who are fucking swimming around canoes right now. What a fucking nightmare that is. Fort Myers is wiped out. I mean, the Florentines lost their fucking, they have like a pool little house where you hang out when you're in the pool. What do they call it? It was a cabana. The fucking thing got ripped right the fuck off. Last night we went into the city, or Saturday night, and we were coming back. And on the Subaru, it kept saying, high wind advisory, high wind advisory. I'm like, what the fuck? There's no wind out. Sunday morning when I woke up, guys, I have a little table outside with a little umbrella. You go out there and write jokes and stupidity. I asked my wife what happened to the fucking table. The table was gone, and the umbrella, holy fuck. I was out Sunday morning, 8:30 in the morning in the car looking for the fucking umbrella all over the neighborhood. Not a thing. So that's just to let you know the winds we got in Jersey Saturday night. I can't imagine what the fuck was going on in fucking Florida. And it's like, you know, I mean, when I was a kid, we got hit with the 1991, and it used to be like every 7 years in Florida, every 8 years. Now, it's like every fucking 4 years somebody's getting hit. It's either them, New Orleans, you know, fucking Georgia. It's, you know, I don't know what they're talking about with climate control and all this shit, but it doesn't take a genius to let you know. Yeah, it doesn't take a genius to let you know. Shit's changing, man. For example, when I moved to fucking Jersey, I got here in August. I was prepared to sweat my fucking balls off. Nothing. There was no fucking humidity. You know, when I was a kid living in Jersey, fucking once May started, once Memorial Day ended, you walked around this fucking town sweating. That's all you did. That's the reason why I fucking left. I hated humidity. When we moved back here, I go, you know what? I'm a big boy now. I'll have to deal with the humidity. There hasn't been any fucking humidity. I remember summers in Jersey, like a week in July, where you can't fucking sleep. You just don't sleep. With the air conditioners going, the fans going, you're naked, you know, the beds, you're down to one sheet, you don't sleep because the fucking humidity won't let you fucking sleep. I remember trying to do coke, and fucking the coke would dissolve in front of you, or when you went to cut a line out, the whole stack would move with you because the humidity would get into the fucking cocaine. It affected everything. My hairdo, the smell of my asshole, because the fucking sweat, it's just terrible. So I know that this summer we had, 2 weeks of humidity maybe? I didn't feel it. It was like, yeah, it's humid out, whatever. But when I was a kid here, you couldn't fucking walk around in the summers. So I know something's going on. I don't know, you know, I'm no scientist. I don't know nothing about dick, you know, but my heart goes out to the Florida people. That's all I wanted to say. I know it's fucking tough. You know, I read some of the shit from Cuba. These motherfuckers have no food. They lost their electricity and the refrigerator. All the food went bad. There's no milk for babies, so it never fucking ends, guys. But on a fucking good note, it's a new month, a new week. I'm excited for Saturday night. Show number 2. We got Kim Condom and Sarah Winecheck opening up for me. I don't know who else will drop in. I think Lee's going to swing by. My man Mike will be there. So, yeah, it'll be a good time. I'm excited about that. I've been writing a little bit. But I got to talk to you guys about something I saw this weekend and the importance about getting entertained. I grew up a fucking movie buff, but I grew up a movie buff to take me away from what I was experiencing in my life. Like when I went to a movie theater, it was just to disappear. I went by myself. You know, the best movies I ever saw were by myself. And like we discussed before, I love every type of cinema. I like every type of music. I like all that shit. But at the end of the day, as human beings, we like getting entertained, you know? It's funny, a couple of weeks ago, I don't know if you guys follow him or whatever, it was tough not to, our friend Rogan he woke up one morning and he got on a plane and went to Vegas, and he went to the ADCC, he went to the UFC, and then that night he went to the boxing match. I didn't know, the next day everybody was saying, and I talked to him, I called him like 2 days later, and I asked him, how did it feel to go, you know, because I know it's different from. He's been telling me for years how he can't wait to go to a fight as a spectator. Like, he's like, you have no idea how bad I'm waiting on, but it's got to be the right, you know, the right thing. I love being entertained. I love all that shit. When he told me that, I was like, I told you, man, that sometimes you just got to sit on the other end and just watch. Just watch. Whether it's a baseball game, a fucking tennis game, it doesn't matter. Two cockroaches wrestling, it doesn't matter. It takes you away from your reality, and it opens up your mind a lot of times. I know for me, like, if I see something different, I'm like, wow, that was not what I expected. It's not what I liked. I don't like it too much. But why did he do that? Why did she do that in the movie? Why? So all this shit, when I talked to him that day, it was like an experience, like for us, like for him. It was an experience. And I'll tell you what the problem is, that a guy like Joe can't go to a fucking movie theater because 4 people while he's watching a movie will come up to him in the fucking movie theater and go, excuse me, we don't want to bother you. The opening excuse me, we don't want to bother you, but we just wanted to say hello during the fucking movie. Whether it's a fight, a movie, a restaurant, it's very tough for that gentleman, for anybody. You know, when I go to the movies with Ari in the city, it's like, you know, 2 guys will come over, hey man, what's going on? And I don't give a fuck. But think about it, it's tough to get entertained when people are bumping into you and shit and asking you fucking stupid questions or whatever. So that's why guys like Rogan, Bert Kreischer, you never see them anywhere, you know. The last time I got entertained properly was 2019 when I went with Bill Burr and Josh and my wife to see Guns N' Roses at the Palladium. And it was fucking sensational. A little liquid IV to fuel the fucking Monday mornings, cocksucker. You never know. Whatever you ate over the weekend, mushrooms, edibles. I was just talking to my man Mike, and he's like, I want to eat 2 of those mushroom gummies with no edibles this time. I said, no. It's great, but let me tell you something. The other night, in my highness, I ate 5 of those fucking gummies and 4 fucking ABX edibles. Guys, I don't have to tell you what fucking planet I was on. It's so funny because I like those mushrooms. Whenever I post them on Twitter, people lose their mind, but there's always the 3 Joe Rogan fans. Excuse me, if we're doing psilocybin, make sure it's... You shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You know, 2 grams ain't enough. Listen, shut the fuck up. People always got to say something fucking stupid on there. Let me tell you something. You take 4 of those mushroom gummies, 5 of those things, and 2 of those ABXs. Ooh, it's not going to be, you hear voices. Though I had a bad experience about 2-3 nights ago. I could not fucking fall asleep. I ate like 3 of those mushroom gummies late at night, like 11 o'clock. That was not fucking good. I ate the gummies because I was taming down the ABX edibles. See, I haven't eaten ABX edibles in like 2 weeks. I eat those little 350s from the stonersclub.com. I like once a month I get the fucking True Dose gummies. They're fucking tremendous. And the True Dose chocolate, fucking the Almond Joys, you'll be on a different fucking planet. And they also have the power or whatever things that are fucking deadly. Tremendous. So I was eating those I alternate them. You got to alternate. You got to take care of your tolerance. But this week I got back into the ABX bag. Woo! With those fucking mushrooms, those silly mushrooms. Guys, you don't know what you're missing. Go online. I don't have the link, but you have to go through a vendor for those things. They're $50 a fucking bag. But let me tell you something. They're well worth it, guys. I don't like the taste of fucking mushrooms. I got mushrooms and just thinking about eating them. Nah, they're dry. They taste like fucking eating a splinter. But years ago, I was in a writing. Dog, you always get in a writing rut, especially after you do a CD or you dump your material. Like when you dump your 45 minutes, you have to start again. And guys, it's hard to do anything in life, but if you have no idea how hard it is after you shoot a special. let's say like out of your 50 minutes, they cut a joke out. So you get to keep that one joke. That's it. And you have to start over again. That first month is fucking brutal. It's brutal. You're just going up to bomb, and you don't want to do old material. You want to put it behind you and start from scratch. That month is a fucking nightmare. So you just got to keep going up on stage and talking shit. So you pick places that nobody's going to see you, and you just make little fucking appearances and do 15 minutes, whatever, and look for another hook. You got to look for another hook. And once you have that one hook, you'll find that one night. It's so weird. You go from having 3 minutes of material and finding a hook, and now you get up to 7 minutes of material. So now for a week, you got to go out there, do 15, 20-minute spots with 7 minutes of material waiting for your next hook. And that'll take like another 10 fucking days. But once you have that, that'll open up another fucking wealth of material. So all of a sudden, you went from 7 minutes to 12. You're on to something, and so on and so forth. But sometimes your creativity is fucking null and void. You can't, listen, guys, it's not, you're not going to just open up a notebook and write a fucking, Eddie Murphy Delirious. That's not going to happen. It's going to take fucking time. It's going to take a few years. I really respect Anthony Jeselnik. Anthony Jeselnik told me something once. Anthony Jeselnik prepares his material 1 year. He does it in the comedy club. Then for a year, he takes that material and he goes through a theater and he sees how it works. He makes changes, and then after that hour is tight, he'll fucking do a special. It takes Anthony Jeselnik like 2.5 fucking years to put a special together, where most guys, it takes a year. These guys are pumping out specials every 12 months, every 14 months. Anthony Jeselnik hits fucking hard when he hits. He hits hard, that motherfucker. And I look at that, and I'm like, that's a smart way to do it. But the agents, a lot of people, our own greed, our own ego won't. 2.5 years, I'm telling you. I've lived for years, and when you're in a comedy state of mind, trust me, guys, you're churning out material. Everything you see becomes a fucking joke. Right now, I'm halfway there, where I'm still cracking myself up once in a while. And that's how you get the party started. But sometimes, guys, you just cannot find that creativity. I was stuck in like 2001. I wasn't doing CDs or anything. I was just stuck. I was trying to get to that place. And I asked one of the best, greatest writers of all time. I saw him at the store one night, and I go, Paul, I pulled Paul Mooney aside, and I go, Paul, I got a problem, man. I'm having a hard time, especially coming down to the Comedy Store. And, at the Comedy Store, you have sets every night. Some nights at that time, there was 8 people. Some nights there'd be 30 people. So I didn't really care about bombing as much, but it starts to concern you after a while. You're like, what the fuck is going on with me? So I pulled him aside, and I go, what do I do? Do I start from scratch? And he goes, no. Take a week off and go get entertained. Go hit a few movies. Go watch shit you never dreamed of watching. I go, like what? He goes, I don't give a fuck. Chinese gymnastics, a ping pong tournament. Just find shit that you could go sit there and see people do something that you're maybe not even interested in, or maybe you have a certain interest in, and see how fucking, a band. I got to tell you something. Whenever I was stuck in Boulder, when I was first starting, there was a place around the corner from my house, like an Australian band, It was a restaurant bar called like the Outback. And I used to go there on Mondays. And there was like a little room in the back with like 15 people for comedy. But it was a recording studio. It was it really was a little recording studio. So I asked the guy, he goes, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, we do local bands here. And I can't remember the name of this band. They were like a fucking, what's that fucking, they rap a little bit. They were like a
Beastie Boys?
The who?
Beastie Boys?
Nah, they were more like, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, jumping up and down and hitting themselves each other in the head. And they were kind of, now I'm a comic, but I would go see these guys, and 2 days later, I'd churn out 5 minutes of fucking material, Now, what does a band have to do with me? How can I get creative from watching a band? You watch the singer. I would watch the singer. When I would When I first started comedy, I would go to see these local bands, but I would focus on the singer because they're just a conduit, just like me. A singer is a fucking tough job because you're a conduit. You're a conduit from a band. The fucking trumpets behind you, the cowbells behind you, the two guitars are behind you, the drums are behind you, and you're the fucking spokesman for the fucking band. So I've always focused on singers like Rod Stewart, or I loved watching fucking Robert Plant move his hips, Elvis. That's part of stand-up, is watching a great singer sometimes, because he's doing the same thing you're doing, only without fucking music. He's up there, so if you're studying to be an actor or a comic, you can look at a fucking singer, a good singer, and it's not his voice. I don't want you to think you have to sit there and look at his fucking... Madonna has a horrible fucking voice, but when she's on stage, she's got great presence. She's got great presence. Presence is a lot of... But that doesn't matter right now. But it's so weird how I would go see a stupid band in 95, and it would... Whatever. So when Paul told me that, I thought about it. I'm like, Paul, that's crazy you said that, because when I lived in Boulder, my thing was to go see these little fucking bands at this fucking bar. I forget what nights. It was like Wednesday night or some shit like that. On the way home, I would go in there and just sit there. And it was, I forget the name of the band. Who the fuck knows if they're still together? I don't know. But my point being is, so these last couple months, I've been a little bit on the creative side, but it wasn't like I was before the fucking pandemic. What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Listen, it's a Monday morning. I want to talk to you about something. Sometimes you can fixate on a problem for so long that you don't take time to find the solution. Trust me, I do it all the time. But when you learn how to find your own solution, there's no better feeling. A therapist can help you become a better problem solver, making it easier to accomplish your goals. Listen, I've been with BetterHelp now for over a year. And I'll tell you, I feel a lot better. The most important thing I love the live talk therapy, but she also gave me exercises to deal with my fucking anxiety and all the things that, I fixate on stuff and I can't get it out of there. But with BetterHelp, I've changed all that. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and chat therapy sessions. You can choose not to see anyone on camera if you want to, but it's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you're never going to find a therapist now. I could get you a therapist within 3 days with BetterHelp. So when you want to be a better problem solver and take care of yourself, visit BetterHelp.com. Right now, /Diaz. That's the code. I'm going to get you 10% off your first month. So visit BetterHelp.com /Diaz, D-I-A-Z, and I'm going to get you 10%. And I'll tell you what, you're going to feel a lot better, and the clarity is going to come to you. Back to the show. When you're, when you got like Tom Segura right now. Tom Segura's in his comedy glory. He's got a great hour. He's about to put on tape. But he gets on stage every night in front of a fucking theater. Never mind at the Comedy Store, Flappers, or the Improv, and then on the weekends you're getting on stage. This guy's getting up in front of average 3,000, 4,000 people a night. Let me tell you something. If you sit with Tom in a car right now, in 20 minutes he could fucking write it out because his mind is already moving. Like I said, before the pandemic, I was cracking myself up every fucking 5 minutes because you're looking at the world differently. Now I got this fatherhood and I'm living in Jersey, but I'm starting to. So this week, Friday I had to go into the city to do a table read, wardrobe, take a picture with a little fucking ugly kid, because he's like my son in the pilot, That took a fucking hour. So, I was like, man, I got the week off, and I talked to Chazz, and Chazz, like 2 weeks ago, we spoke about something. He goes, hey, man, there's tickets left if you want to come to see my show on October 1st, but I thought about it. I go, where the fuck is it? And he told me it was at Town Hall, and I go, that's interesting. I didn't even think about it like that. So I think Wednesday night, when I found out my schedule for the week, because I was hoping Mike would get married on a Saturday. That's why I left this weekend open. We didn't know. Then Mike got married on a Friday. So our Saturday was wide open. one of the moms was having like a movie night around the corner, and she said, you know, you guys are invited. We said we couldn't get a babysitter for Friday, and we couldn't get a babysitter for Saturday. So she said, just drop her off and pick her up after the show. So we got tickets online. I got 2 tickets online. And Saturday night, I took my wife out on a fucking regular date. You know, just us two, and it was great. Went into the city. It was shitty weather, so it wasn't like when Mike and I went into the city fucking in September for that show. I saw people. It took Mike an hour to get out of the parking garage. You know, it was a lot of people, so I wanted to show my wife the city hopping, but because of the rain and the wind, a lot of fucking people weren't out last night. So it took us, you know, whatever we got. I got to the theater about 5 to 8, and it was the Bronx Tale. And we had the last row on the bottom level, you know. We walked in. I didn't even fit in my fucking chair. It was like sitting on a Frontier flight. I swear to God, I had to put one leg crooked and the one leg up. And that morning, it was funny because that morning I spoke to I was going to say Ralphie. I spoke to Ari, and Ari goes, what are you doing tonight? I go, you know what? I got to go into the city to watch the Bronx Tale at Town Hall. And he goes, that's crazy that you're going to Town Hall. You sold out that place twice. You lit that place on fire. Now you get to sit on the opposite side and watch what you were doing on stage. I was all in for last night. I was excited about last night. I was going to get to see something new and different. I have always been a fan of the one-man show, guys. As you guys don't know, before the pandemic, I was working on a one-man fucking show. Once a month at the Comedy Store, I would show up there and just talk about a time period in my life, you know. The first one-man show I ever saw was Whoopi Goldberg's. I got like a VHS tape when I lived in Boulder, and I started getting into comedy in 92. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen a one-man show. They really, like, I could put on a good one-man show, except for one problem. I can't do characters. I can't break down a bunch of fucking characters. First time I saw Whoopi Goldberg's one-man show, my fucking head exploded. My fucking head exploded. Was it hilarious? Not really. They're not supposed to be hilarious. I mean, it's always great if they are hilarious, a one-man show. But hers was funny. She did every fucking character, from junkies to drug dealers to hookers. She fucking nailed it. I was like, wow, that's like being a one-man band, you know? And then the second one I saw was like in 93, I saw one called Spicorama. It's John Leguizamo's fucking one-man show. And very interesting. John has about 10 of them. But the Spicorama one, there was one before Spicorama. Spicorama was maybe 93, and I bought the book to it. I had a follow-through book. And that one I didn't see live. I had to fucking rent it and watch it. But I was like, wow, that is just, it's an extension of a one-man show. So like when I did Ari's Storyteller show, they're a little piece of a one-man show. Go up there and tell a story or something that happened to you in a funny manner, you know, make it sad, pull them out of the fucking sadness with something funny. And that's what a one-man show does. It goes through, it's like going to a regular play. You have your first act, your second act, and your third act, and you got to break them up. That was the problem with my one-man show, that I had done it maybe 6 times, and it was all an hour 15, hour and a half, and I still wasn't done. So how the fuck can you have a one-man show that's 8 hours? What are you people going to sit there for 8 hours and have a meal with me? So we either had to decide whether to break it from the point after my mother died, or it ends with my mother dying, or it begins with me coming out of prison and getting into comedy. So that was the fucking thing we had, and maybe sprinkling some of the past in, but we never got to that part. The pandemic hit, the director fucking quit the Comedy Store, and life moved the fuck on. So when I had the opportunity to see Chazz's, I had never saw Chazz's. I saw the film a few times. You know, it's on every other fucking week. But I never got to see the one-man show. When they offered me the residency in New York City, they said, basically, you can do whatever the fuck you want there. You could do whatever you want. You could do an hour of stand-up. You could do a one-man show. Now, for you guys who know me and know what I think is important in life, do you know how happy I would be if I could do a one-man show on Broadway? Do you have any fucking idea whether it was good or bad? Do you have any? I mean, I would try to make it as good as I possibly could. I wouldn't make you come down to see a bum rap, but do you know what it would mean to me? It would be fucking, it would be superb, man. A one-man show on fucking Broadway. I catch a little heat, but that's a complete different story.
Could be the last show.
Yeah, so I went over there Saturday night, and I didn't know what to expect, you know. I walked in with my wife. We sat in the fucking Southwest tickets, in the Southwest seats. But here's the fucking funny thing, that our seats were just, the way the theater was and how old it got, our seats just got compact. And then we had two people in front of us, and they were right there. Guys, they were right fucking there. I could smell the guy's fucking neck. So what we did was, as soon as the lights turned off, we just got up and we moved to, because a couple seats in the back row were open, and then we had more room. It was just that area that the fucking seats were combined. But I gotta tell you, man, I don't know how old Chazz Palminteri is, and it doesn't matter to me. I know he's a little older than me. He came out fucking guns blazing. He was so fucking good. You know, I spoke to him Sunday morning. He thanked me for coming to the show, and he goes, "What'd you think?" I go, "Listen, man, you knocked it out of the park, but what really had me fucking cooking was the stage presence." He just fucking, you know, man, and that's what you see singers do. Like when you see the singer from Rage Against the Machine, that motherfucker owned the stage. You know, Robert Plant owned the fucking stage. Like that guy really owned the fucking stage. Chazz last night fucking owned the stage. He came out, I mean, just firing. Everything. I mean, there was no backdrop because I guess the theater was too big to have like a backdrop. But he had sirens, he had smoke, he had gunshots, he had people yelling, he had music, doo-wop music, Dion and the Belmonts. I mean, it was a one-man fucking show. I sat there in fucking awe. And it's the same thing you saw in the movie, only a little bit more explained. He explained the African-American girl he was dating. He explained the characters. He does every fucking character. I mean, beautifully. And there's got to be 20 fucking characters in the thing. He talked about his dad. He talked about his mom. It was just, it went by fast. It was like I sat down, and I didn't even go get a bottle of water. When I sat down, I go, fuck, I'm going to go get a drink for me and my wife. We didn't say boo throughout the fucking whole hour. It was like an hour and a half. We did not say boo. Not even a fucking nothing. We just were in awe. We would look at each other every couple minutes and go, wow, fucking this guy's got it down. And then the highlight of the night was some guy heckled him. Some guy fucking heckled him, and he was telling the part where the dice game. He was talking about the dice game and how, you know, all that shit. He was talking about the dice and mush and all this, and he was doing mush. He was doing Frankie Coffee Cake. I mean, he was doing all their voices and stuff. It was just brilliant, guys. And all of a sudden, he's talking about that he has to shoot dice, and he goes, "Yeah, Colangelo, throw whatever, 14." He goes, "Lucky 14," and some guy yelled in the audience, 15. And Chazz just fucking stopped the one-man show, and he goes, "I know I'm in fucking New York. There's always got to be one knucklehead." So he was throwing people into the bathroom in the fucking scene, and he goes, "Get the fuck up and get the fuck into the bathroom," like with the rest of the guys. Like he didn't move, he didn't fall out of character. Yeah. He didn't fall out of character, guys, which I thought was fucking just tremendous. The place went crazy because that's what people want to see. People want you to react to something in the audience. If a waitress spills her drinks, that's why I tell people, don't focus on the words too much. When you go up on stage and you got that set list when you're a young comic, don't focus on the words. I want you to know bullet points and where you are. That's the most important thing, because if this waitress or if this fucking knucklehead gets up and slips on his head, you have to say something and then come right back to where the fuck you were, just to really keep him. The worst is making a tremendous joke and then come back and now you don't know where you are. So for you going away, and you'll do this as a comic once or twice, this is how you learn to remember your place, because you'll have a great 5 minutes and then try to go back to your material, and now your material cannot follow the event that just happened in the room. It is just, it's, comedy 101, guys. So we watched it. He took us, it was an hour 45 on the dot. That's as professional as can be. An hour 45 isn't too long, and it isn't too short. It's just fucking right. So I made a mental note. If you're going to do a one-man show, keep it at 145. 145, everybody's fucking happy. I can't stand when people do 2-3 hours. I don't have that type of fucking, I can't sit there for 3 hours. If Jesus was there talking shit, I can't sit there for fucking 3 hours. So, and I love Jesus. We all love Jesus if he shows up. Right? We all love Jesus, right? Who don't love Jesus, right? So he was fucking great. We got a standing ovation. I got up, and he had a Q&A, but we had an hour drive home, and we just wanted to get out of the city. So we just slipped out the fucking back door. We caught an Uber, went to the ferry, and we took one of the ferries back. I love taking that fucking ferry. The Weehawken, I love all that shit. On the way up, we stopped at Rudy's. We got a little fucking calamari with some fucking Rhode Island clam chowder, delicious. They just put the red and the white and mix it, and they call it Rhode Island. I guess that's what they fucking do. And it was just a great night, guys. My wife had a great night. I had a great night, and I came home, and I watched the Mooners with my daughter and stuff, and she went to bed, and boom. The creativity from the one-man show just kicked in. I mean, while I was watching the Honeymooners with my daughter, it was already like fucking, like things were, I would lose place. I was watching it, and then 2 minutes later, I go, what the fuck just happened? Because my mind was already fucking cooking. Once she went upstairs, I was tired, and I sat down and made a few mental notes, just, jokes, a couple things I saw with his one-man show. And on the way up the stairs, I this fucking really works. And when I got up this morning, I made a few notes before I went looking for my fucking umbrella. Yesterday morning after the one-man show, I got up in the morning and I couldn't wait to come home and sit. And it just gives you different ideas. I love to watch movies, guys, and a lot of you people are going to be mad at me for what I'm about to say. I tried watching Top Gun last week.
I didn't even try.
Holy shit, that was bad. And guys, I know a lot of you are going to attack me and say, Joey, you're wrong. I'm a Tom Cruise motherfucker. The only reason why I didn't join Scientology is because I'm not gay. Yeah, I got nothing to hide. You know what I'm saying? I've already told you all my sins. Okay. So, I love Tom Cruise. I watch anything Tom Cruise is in. Interview with the Vampire. I fucking love him. Okay, Collateral, the Jake whatever movies where he plays that secret agent. What's his name? Jack Reacher. I love all his shit. Okay, the movie he did as the Colombian fucking drug dealer. He did that movie as a pilot that he played the redneck with the blonde, the cute blonde. I love motherfucking Tom Cruise. But that movie, and listen, I watch it with my wife. My wife is as white as can be, and she'll check me. She'll go, Joey, you're too high. This movie's great. I asked her at the hour mark. I go, Terry, what's going on here? She's like, I have no fucking idea. I go, this is not good. But then she goes, what do you want to do? You want to stop? I go, no. Let's watch it. We pay $5 for it on fucking Amazon Prime. Let's watch another half hour.
Did you see Val Kilmer with his scarf?
I saw Val Kilmer with the scarf. Val Kilmer looked good. Listen, Val Kilmer acted without saying a word, and he did a better job acting than all those fucking young guys. Motherfucker didn't say a fucking word, Val Kilmer. And he was way better than that Teller guy with the mustache that drove me fucking crazy, and the other pretty blonde that was talking shit. That dude, and what bothered me the most about that movie is that young kids are seeing that shit, thinking that's how you act. Let me tell you something. You act as creepy as that blonde dude or Miles Teller, and somebody's gonna bust your fucking head. Because that blonde guy, that's all he needs, is a good smack to the face. You grab him by the throat and say, shut the fuck up, pilot boy. I'm the Captain Kirk of this fucking enterprise. And that Penn Teller with that I don't know what's going on with these people that think they look cool with these creepy fucking mustache. You look like a professional cocksucker. You look like a professional cocksucker with that fucking mustache. The 70s are gone, you stupid motherfucker. Everybody's talking about. Then after I turned off fucking Top Gun, we put on that fucking Blondie shit. That fucking. Oh my God, that was bad. That was really fucking bad. I mean, we were like, turn off the TV. I'm exercising this fucking television. They got bad fucking TV. That I'll tell you what was good though. That fucking Dahmer shit. White people are losing their fucking mind. I watched the whole fucking thing. I didn't remember this. You know, people already talking shit. The story wasn't true, but listen, Dahmer was real, cocksucker. I remember going up there 6 years after that and doing that club in Green Bay, maybe, wherever the fuck it is, not Green Bay, Milwaukee. I did that club in Milwaukee, and one of the guys at the bar, the janitor dude, I don't know if he was a janitor, like a maintenance guy. I was like, how far did Jeffrey Dahmer live from here? Dog, it was like giving that motherfucker a line of coke. He didn't shut up for 2 hours. He started telling me shit, stories about bars and places because a bunch of shit came out, I guess, after he fucking died. But that TV show is fucking buck wild. If you haven't seen Dahmer on motherfucking, I mean, this guy was doing some creepy shit. I guess the building got knocked down, but Jimmy Florentine said he went to the Dahmer Hotel where he used to take those guys and fucking give them pills and he would dose those motherfuckers. But listen, all those little young fucking creepy kids he fucking killed, I gotta tell you something, they would pray for me to dose them because whatever the fuck he was dosing them with was killing those. He was trying to make human fucking zombies.
Mm-hmm. That's what he said the first time.
Liquid IV, making it fucking happen on a Monday morning, cocksuckers. Vitamins, minerals, hard-on juice in there. Everything's in there, but no. I watched that fucking Dahmer, and it blew me the fuck away. And I liked how they shot it. They showed you what he did. Then they tell you the fucking story. So now you know, if you got a creepy kid that's fucking...
His parents were fucked up.
Yeah, his parents were fucked up. But you know what, man? I mean... You can't blame everything on the fucking parents. Can't. When you have a child like that, I mean, even their parents are in shock sometimes. I mean, you never know what the fuck the kids are thinking or doing. I mean, listen, man, my mother wasn't involved in my life how I wanted it to be, even while she was alive. I had a mom that really trusted me, and she didn't look through my shit. You know, it was like pretty fucking cool. And as a parent, I don't want to look through my daughter's shit and get on a computer and see what the fuck she's doing. But you got to have a grasp. And I got to tell you something. If your kid is fucking creepy, you should know it. Yeah. Like, if your kid is fucking creepy, you should fucking know it. You know, this kid, his mom was a whack job. The dad taught him how to open up animals. And when the dad taught him how to open up animals, it was something innocent. It was like a project, like going to biology class and opening up a frog. At least that's how I saw it. Maybe you guys didn't see it that way. Both to pick up and get fucking shit from the, what do you call those animals? Roadkill. Come on, guys. But that takes a different animal. You know, listen, you hear all these things about, when I was a kid, if you want me to be fucking strictly honest with you, I think I threw some fucking rocks at some cats. You know, when you're a kid, like, if the animal I hated the most were fucking flies. I hate flies. When it comes to flies, I am not a Cuban Buddhist. You know me. I fucking, the other day by mistake, I hit a fucking squirrel. You know those fucking things that get stuck in the street and they try to go backwards and forward? And I thought I passed him, and also and I looked back and I saw his tail. And I had to pull over and say a fucking prayer. That's a little animal. I didn't mean to do it. When people start killing cats, and that's a fucking problem. And listen, if you do it one time, like I had a friend who once told me he fucking threw a rock at a dog, but he goes, I felt so bad after that. I was 6 years old. I get it. You're a fucking kid. When I was a kid, I took a piece of metal one time and hit my dog in the head with it. My mother had a French poodle in 88, and when we lived on 89th Street, and I don't like French poodles. She used to bite me and shit. So I remember one time I hit her with a pipe. It wasn't even a pipe. It was one of my drum kits. It held like the snare drum. And I'll never forget, I was going to fucking burn her with the pipe. So I took the pipe and I put it over fire, like an idiot that I was at 6, and not realizing that the fucking heat was going to come up to my hand. Yeah. So I'm holding, I'm going to burn the cat or the dog or whatever the fuck I was going to do. And I just lifted and I got blisters on my hand. And I never fucking burnt the dog, thank God. But I think I hit the dog with a pipe one time. My mother nearly fucking killed me. But that didn't warrant it. Like that was never my, I killed flies. I fucking hate flies. One of my friends, Dean LaPrete, told me once that he saw me kill like 30 flies one day and take the wings off all of them and put lighter fluid on them and light them on fire. I forgot all about that, but it sounds like something I would do, But listen, you can't look at your child and predict the fucking future. You just can't. When I was watching that Escobar thing, when he gets killed, the mother's on a bus, and it comes over the radio that Pablo Escobar got killed, and people were clapping, and she was like all heartbroken. And when she went to the body, she was telling them, she goes, people said my son did all these things. As a parent, we don't even believe it. We live in so much denial of our kids, that we have to see it. Like we have to. So instead of fucking not paying attention to your kids because you don't want to know the truth, it's like anything else. We don't want to know something, we won't pay attention to it as human beings. Like we don't want to know what the fuck is going on in there. Something's wrong in there. That this isn't fucking right. So I enjoyed the Dahmer. I'm not a psycho. I just enjoyed it. Again, as entertainment, guys.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Oh, the guy that played Dahmer? That's my boy. That dude was on a show called Mayor of Easttown.
Was he on that?
He was the cop that got shot in the head. That was the good-looking guy that was taking her out to dinner and shit.
American Horror Story? Yeah,
he's an American Horror Story. Listen, there's nothing better than watching good acting, good writing, a good script, I mean, I don't need it all to be an Academy Award. I just want to be entertained when I watch TV. Or when I go to a movie. I want to, when you watch a Jerry Bruckheimer film, like, Jerry Bruckheimer is all over fucking CBS, right? He pretty much owns CBS. So when you watch a Top Gun, it looks like you're watching CSI, like one of especially that they use lenses and shit to make it look like the movie in the 80s, and they really tried. I gotta tell you something else I didn't like about that movie. You ready, guys? A Mexican pilot of Top Gun. No. I never saw a Mexican pilot in one of those Top Gun movies. They had to be, what's that when you have to put everybody in the movie? When you have to put blacks and Chinese, diversity. Diversity is coming to fucking films now. And again, the world is changing, entertainment's changing, everything's changing. I'm not ready for it to be that diverse yet. You got to sell me on it first, I was waiting for a transgender pilot to walk out any time. I really fucking was. I really was. I'm like, wow. This is Jerry Bruckheimer. This is CBS. Look what he's doing already in film. Like, I understand television with sponsors and stuff like that. But if you're already doing it in film, we're going into a different fucking direction here. But, hey, listen. Like I said, whether it's a one-man show, it's a movie or whatever, you got to get really entertained from time to time. And I know it's rough. I know it's it's rough to look at concert tickets and go, fuck, $200 to see my favorite fucking band, you know, but guys, every once in a while, I want you to take your favorite band and figure out how to go see them. Or somebody new, you know, somebody you've never fucking seen before. I just heard something the other day and they're not even advertising it. B-52s are doing their last tour. It is completely sold the fuck out. Like completely sold out. I like the early B-52s, the first two albums when they had the heroin guitar player that died. He added a different fucking dimension to it. I mean, that guy's great. The first album, Rock Lobster, and the second one, My Private Idaho, I think it is. I'm not sure. Fucking, he destroyed the guitar. I don't know if I'd go see him now. But there's a lot of good shows. You know, for me, I'm going to start going to see more plays. I don't know what plays. I'm going to try to look at like off-Broadway, like things that I like. I like to see things from the beginning. You know, I like to see the work. I don't mind getting a couple tickets, like one in September, one in December, and one in March to see the progression of it. You learn from that, you know. Really interesting. It's like there's one band that I wasn't a huge fan of theirs. I was a fan of them when they came out, and then as they got bigger over the years, I definitely became a huge fan of them. I've seen them maybe one time, but it's really weird. I'll close with this. It's really weird when you hear them, and the band I'm talking about is Motley Crue. You know, when you put on, you know, what's that? Coming Home, whatever that song is, or all those jams are fucking great. But if you really want to learn something from Motley Crue, put on their first album. It sounds like they taped it in a fucking closet. What's that first jam? Live Wire? It comes on all the time, and I listen to it. It's not the best song in the world, but if you listen to Live Wire from the first album, I think the second album has Looks to Kill on it, right? I don't know the whole... when Looks to Kill came on, every time I heard that song, I snorted a line of coke. That's how much I like that fucking song. She's got... Fuck it. The jam on that is tremendous. But when you listen to the first album and you see where they went like 5 years later, you're blown the fuck away by them. First of all, he's a horrible singer. He was a horrible singer at the end, and he was even worse. In the beginning, he sounds like a fucking mouse. He sounds like a male Madonna on the first album. So next time you hear Motley Crue on the first album, put on Madonna's first album and you go, fuck, they sound like mices, you know? I mean, but you could see their growth. You could see how they improved. You could see all these things, and it just fucking blows you away. So that's why I think I'm going to start going to theaters in New York, like off-Broadway. Off fucking Broadway. Like they got Kinky Boots is back on off Broadway. That's a good movie. I was thinking of going to see that, but who the fuck knows? I'll get AIDS just sitting in a movie theater with my fucking luck, or monkeypox, or whatever the fuck is going around. But that's it, and that's that, cocksuckers. It's a Monday motherfucking morning. Listen, man, if you're sometimes you're in a fucking, you know, it's not working for you. It's just time to to go out and see something completely different. I remember a couple of years ago, I went to see that Chinese shit. The Chinese troupe, Peng Lei, that they do the fucking dragons and stuff. I took my daughter. It was tremendous. It was, you know, and people were like, you went to see that, Joey? You're only the type that would go to see that. I go to see anything to learn something. Just to learn something new. That's how you learn, is by watching other performers that are better than you. You have to just bite the bullet and go sometimes and go, wow. You know what, man? When I was thinking about quitting comedy in 2009, 2010, 2011, when the podcast started taking off, I didn't know if I was going to go back on the road. For a year, I went to the Irvine Improv every Thursday night. Every Thursday. Didn't say anything to anybody. I smoked a joint in the car on the way there. I'd call the manager, tell him to let me into the back door, and I'd sit there. And I watched every fucking headliner from Matt and my favorite one out of all of them that year was Greg Giraldo. You know, I watched Ralphie, I watched Greg Giraldo, I watched Bill Burr, their hour. Not their 20-minute spots in the comedy store at a club. Their full hour. And man, did I fucking learn. Just sitting there watching a real fucking headliner just lay it down. And I'm not going to tell you, I brought a little pad with me and I would make little notes that the headliners would do. And I learned more in that year from focusing on Thursday night, just watching a headliner, than I did in probably my whole 20 years of watching stand-up comedy. So from time to time, go out there. Go see somebody who's better than you, cocksucker. I love you. Stay black. Have a great Monday. And I'll see you cocksuckers Thursday this week, because I'm shooting Tuesday and Wednesday. So this week we'll have the Thursday morning podcast. I love you, motherfuckers. And now for a word from my sponsors, Jack. All right, you bad motherfuckers. The joint is brought to you by Heart and Soil. Listen, I've been eating healthy for the last few years, or at least I try to. I've been taking this beef organ supplements from Heart and Soil. I'm feeling a lot better. I got more energy, and I'm recuperating a lot better. Beef organs are what most nutrient-dense foods on this planet, more than kale, spinach, and blueberries combined. That's why they're called nature's multivitamin. Listen, I've been taking these for 2 weeks, and I feel great. I haven't tried the whole package. I'm taking the Warrior supplements, and they're fantastic. You know who's got something to do with this company? Mr. George St. Pierre. Our ancestors ate organs for thousands of years and never suffered from what we're suffering from today: obesity, heart disease, anti-immune issues. This was founded by Dr. Paul Saladino. Heart and Soul supplements are made from grass-fed, finished beef organs. Feel like a man when you take supplements made with liver, heart, kidney, spleen, and testicles. Those testicles taste good. So go to heartandsoul.com. They can help you reclaim your birthright to radical health. Go to heartandsoul.co and use code Joey10 for 10% off your first order. That's heartandsoul.co and use code Joey10. Offer applies to one-time purchases, not subscriptions. Try them today, and you're going to feel like a fucking savage, like the Liver King. The joint is also brought to you by BetterHelp. Listen, this whole last couple years has put a big strain on the system. It's put a big strain on us. And how do I know? Because I've had my issues. But when I was ready, I went to BetterHelp. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and chat therapy sessions. I've been with Dana for about 1.5 years, and I feel tip-top magoo. A therapist can help you become a better problem solver, making it easier to accomplish your goals. You can choose not to see somebody on camera or see somebody, and it's much more affordable than in-person therapy. Not to mention, BetterHelp will have a therapist for you within 48 hours, all right? So when you want to be a better problem solver, when you want to be a better person, when you want to feel better, go to BetterHelp.com right now, press in /code Diaz, D-I-A-Z, and I'm going to get you 10% off your first month. That's code Diaz. I'm going to get you 10% off your first month. BetterHelp.com /Diaz. The joint is also brought to you by the Kings. DraftKings, I love these motherfuckers. What they do now is tremendous, whether it's college football, pro football, baseball World Series. It's October, baby. We're going into the baseball playoffs, straight into the World Series. The NFL is fucking on top of things, and so is DraftKings. Listen, for the football for tonight, do me a favor. New customers just bet $5 on any NFL team to win, and when either Los Angeles or San Francisco come in, you win. Everyone can boost their winnings with DraftKings stepped-up parlays. I love them. The more legs you bet, the more money you win. And to make things sweeter, you can bet one stepped-up game parlay per day, all season long. But it starts with you downloading the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code Joey to get 200 in free bets if your team wins when you place a $5 bet on any football team. That's code Joey, only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Now download the DraftKings app and go win some money, cocksuckers. I want to thank DraftKings, BetterHelp, and heart and soul. Have a great Monday. Have a great week, and I'll see you cocksuckers Thursday. Stay black.